Imagine you're sailing across the Atlantic Ocean. The weather is calm, the sea is quiet. Then, in the distance, you spot a ship. At first, nothing seems unusual, but as you get closer, you realize something is terribly wrong. No one is standing on the deck. No one responds to your signals. No voices, no movement. You board the ship. Inside, you find food and supplies. The crew's belongings are still there. The captain's personal items haven't been touched. Everything looks completely normal, except for one thing. There isn't a single person on board. No bodies, no blood, no signs of a struggle. It's as if the entire crew simply vanished into thin air. This isn't a horror movie. This really happened. More than 150 years ago, a ship called Mary Celeste was found drifting alone in the Atlantic Ocean, completely abandoned. And to this day, no one knows what happened to the 10 people who were on board. This is the mystery of the world's most famous ghost ship. The year was 1872. The Mary Celeste was a merchant ship carrying cargo from New York, USA, to Genoa, Italy. Its captain was Benjamin Briggs, an experienced and highly respected sailor. This wasn't just another journey for him. On board with him were his wife, his 2-year-old daughter, and 7 crew members. In total, there were 10 people on the ship. The cargo consisted of nearly 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol. Everything seemed normal. The crew was experienced. The ship was seaworthy. Nothing suggested that this voyage would become one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. The Mary Celeste left New York, and just a few days later, every person on board disappeared forever. On December 4th, 1872, another ship, called the De Gratia, was crossing the Atlantic Ocean. Its crew noticed a ship in the distance. It was moving strangely. Its course seemed irregular. Some of its sails were damaged, and no one could be seen on deck. The captain of the De Gratia became suspicious. He sent several sailors to investigate. When they boarded the ship, they made a shocking discovery. It was the Mary Celeste, and it was completely empty. The captain was gone. His wife was gone. His daughter was gone. Every crew member had vanished. Not a single person remained on board. What made the mystery even stranger was the condition of the ship. It wasn't destroyed. It wasn't sinking. And it hadn't been looted. Food and water supplies were still there. The crew's personal belongings remained untouched. Most of the cargo was still on board. If pirates had attacked the ship, why would they leave behind valuable cargo? There was no blood, no signs of violence, no evidence of a fight. However, investigators noticed something important. The ship's lifeboat was missing. Some navigation instruments were also gone. This suggested that the crew may have left the ship voluntarily. But that only created another question. Why would an experienced captain abandon a ship that was still floating safely? Investigators found a small amount of water inside the ship, but not nearly enough to sink it. In fact, the Mary Celeste was still perfectly capable of sailing. This is what makes the mystery so difficult to explain. Captain Briggs had spent most of his life at sea. He knew how to handle storms and emergencies. Would a man like him really place his wife and young daughter into a tiny lifeboat in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean without a very serious reason? Something must have happened. Something that convinced him that staying on the ship was more dangerous than leaving it. But what? The most widely accepted theory involves the ship's cargo. Remember, the Mary Celeste was carrying nearly 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol. Some experts believe that fumes may have leaked from a few barrels. Captain Briggs may have feared an explosion. Imagine being in the middle of the ocean and believing that your ship could explode at any moment. He may have ordered everyone into the lifeboat as a temporary safety measure. Perhaps they planned to stay close to the ship and return once the danger had passed. But then, strong winds or rough seas may have separated the lifeboat from the Mary Celeste. And once they drifted away, they never found their way back. It's a logical theory. But there is one problem. There is no evidence proving that this is what actually happened. Over the years, many other explanations have been suggested. Some people blame pirates, but if pirates attacked, why leave the cargo behind? Others believe there was a mutiny among the crew, yet there were no signs of violence, no blood, no damaged cabins, no evidence of any conflict. Some have even suggested supernatural explanations. But again, there is no proof. Every theory answers one question and creates 10 more. More than 150 years have passed, yet Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife, his little daughter, and the 7 crew members were never seen again. Tell us your theory in the comments. And if you love forgotten histories, lost civilizations, and mysteries buried in time, subscribe to Shadowed Past Mysteries and join us as we uncover the secrets history never explained. Because some mysteries refuse to die.